Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. Well, today is going to be the review for the Walther CP99 Compact Recon pistol. I picked this thing up at Lefebvre's Outdoor Sports in North Bay for $79. Best deal you're going to get anywhere that I found, because I did check the internet out, and yeah, Lefebvre's has got definitely the best price on it. Anyhow, so I've done an unboxing, I've done a crony test, I've done a first shot test with the thing, which initially I suck. I'm not a real pistol person when it comes to being able to shoot them accurately, but I still like them anyway, and I give it my all anyhow. And you know, the more time I spend with the pistols, I'm sure I'll get better and better. So I do have quite a collection of pistols growing, especially in the replica side of things, because I'm really liking these replica guns. Anyways, I've also done an accuracy test along with shot count test. There's a video for that. But I will say this, you get 135 shots per CO2 bottle. Now this is without rapid firing the gun. This is also not taking a lot of time between shots, but not rapid firing. When you rapid fire, you will actually cool CO down so much you literally start blowing ice out the barrel, and you can get valve lock happen, which means a buildup of CO2 turning into solid packed ice inside your valve. That happens on all blowback type guns when you're rapid firing. It can happen, and most common in pistols more than anything though. But anyways, so 135 shots per bottle. Accuracy 15 to 20 feet is actually really good with open sights. I took off the tack rail and the green dot for the accuracy testing because I really don't like the green dot very much. It is kind of annoying. The gun jumps enough as it is, and to try and keep things calm down and on target with a green dot is kind of, it personally for me, it annoys me. So I'm probably going to just leave that off the gun, but I put it back on for the video so you can see what the gun looks like fully assembled. Anyways, average FPS on this gun is about 375 FPS. Now as far as the box specs goes, 177 caliber BBs, fixed front and rear sight, non-adjustable, so once you figure out where the thing is actually shooting at, you compensate, and you'll do pretty good with it. BB guns, by the way, are not made to be very accurate, although some of them are quite accurate, especially rifles. But BB pistols themselves are never really all that accurate. Smoothbore barrel, manual safety, barrel length. The actual barrel length front to back, because you can see it through the side vents here, gives you a grand total of 5.75 inches or 5 3/4 inches. They say the dangerous area is up to 300 yards. They're full of it. The BBs aren't going to make it that distance. Capacity of the clip or mag, as you choose to call it, is 18 rounds. Power source, CO2, 1 cylinder, velocity up to 400 feet per second. It means it can go up to 400 feet per second with the right conditions. And of course the right lighter ammo. I'm using, I believe it's 5.2 grain is what Crossman BBs are, and the Copperheads, and they're my preferred ammo. I don't like any other BBs. But, and I've shot Crossman BBs for over 42 years, and I've never had problems with them. Anyways, so, CO2 gas. Do not use Crossman bottles. They don't pierce very well. If you were hanging out for one of my other videos, I actually put a bottle that had been pissing still for about 5 minutes straight and still blowing air out. It didn't pierce properly, because what will happen, and it can actually happen on the bottles that I do recommend, if you don't get a proper pierce, it's going to have power levels jump up and down. So the idea of the slide is it recocks the hammer each time it blows back. And so you're ready for your next shot, and away you go. If you don't get a proper pierce, or a good enough pierce, you're going to have to recock the slide each time. And sometimes you're going to get a really powerful shot, other times you're going to get a very weak shot. And that's what I found with the Crossman bottles, is they really don't do so well. My first Crossman bottle did okay, but the second time I put one in, it didn't pierce as well. And I didn't do anything different, but Crossman bottles are notorious for having pretty tough cap seals on them. Whereas if you get something like this is a Sig Sauer, I also have Umarex and Swiss Arms, I think it's called. Anyways, they're all pretty much almost identical to each other. They work fine in this gun. They pierce great. They have a little softer lid on them, so they do pierce a lot better. So you're definitely going to get your full use out of the bottle without having to worry about having to recock to fire the gun. So you're going to get consistent power levels, or more consistent power levels out of those bottles. But you do have to make sure you pierce them right, and I will take you through that. You do have a manual safety on the right hand side of the gun. You just flick it down to go to safe. This is also a safety decocking mechanism as well. So if you have the gun already in fire, and you'll notice that there's a dot that'll show up on the bar, that's actually, I believe, your hammer. Now if you pull the trigger, you fire, but when you put it on safe, it safely decocks the gun so it does not and cannot fire accidentally. Now you gotta push back on this metal piece here and push up at the same time to put it back on fire. So pretty simplified system. Now underneath the trigger guard, of course, is a ambidextrous lever to allow you to eject your magazine or clip, whatever you want to call it. And this is metal. It's actually all metal except for this front piece is plastic, but the rest of the mag clip is actually all metal, so that's good. It's going to be durable. It's going to last you for years of shooting. And you can buy extra packs of 2 of these for about 20 bucks. D&L Airguns has them in Canada, and so does Airgun Source. And I'll be ordering some from Airgun Source, seeing as they carry them as well. And it's just the regular CP99 compact clip. Works in the Recon or the regular CP99. Same mag, no difference. Anyway, so taking that out of the gun. With the trigger system. Now this is kind of funky, because gassed or not, if you have BBs in the mag, and you put the mag in and you pull the trigger, even though you're not firing the gun, it'll actually put a round out your barrel and it'll drop out. So I noticed that too on when I fire the gun has a heck of a jump to it because it's got really good recoil. It's pretty authentic in that way to the real one. But what happens is you may have a tendency, because there's a first stage here that's got some take up and then you get into it. Well, as soon as you get past the first part of the take-up, it'll engage the BB. And from there, you want to pretty much stop at this point and just aim carefully and then pull the trigger. And you can either hold it in and gently let it go, because if you hold it, if you fire, the gun jumps. And if you're not holding it in, what can happen is your finger comes back out and back in again, and it can engage a BB and it can dump out. Now, this isn't a bad thing. It's just something to get used to. That's all. The gun is very jumpy, you know, and rightly so. It's a pretty beefy, heavy gun, and it's got a metal slide that's got some good weight to it, and it's definitely a really cool gun. I'm quite impressed with this thing. Anyways, now to load CO2 in this thing, you just grab these little things at the back side, little indents, and just pull, and it's just a plastic hand piece that comes off. Then you can load your bottle in the gun. Now, right now we've got her dropped in, and we should actually rotate this to open all the way. Okay, and it's about a full turn and about a half. And then you see the wheel here. You want to engage the wheel until it comes right up against the bottle. Then you want to back it off just about 1/8 of a turn. Then you can swipe this around and you can engage the bottle that way. That's how you pierce the bottle, and that'll give you your best possible pierce. If you're any further away, it doesn't give as good of a pierce. So again, go until it stops on the bottle, and then just about 1/8 of a turn back, just a little bit, okay? Then you twist this to engage it, and you won't even lose any gas, which is awesome. I like the fact you don't even lose any gas when you ignite the bottle. And then of course you put it to the open position, back it off all the way, dump out your expelled bottle. Now you'll find there's a seal down here where you're going up against. Because of the type of seal it is, and it does have a large center hole in it, which is actually kind of unusual even for a Walther. I find it large anyhow. You have to look at your coverage area here. Do not leave gas in this gun long term. It's going to build an impression on that seal real easy if you do. And it is a nice soft pliable material, which is good because when it squishes, it's definitely going to seal the gas so that the gas can't leak. But if you allow long-term storage of the bottle in there, that's a lot of pressure and tension in there, and it's going to flatten out the seal and it won't be able to rebound. So as long as you remove your expelled gas bottles after you're done, you're good to go. And if you're done shooting for the day and you still have some gas left in the bottle, just expel that gas. I mean, it's a little bit of a waste, but you know what? These things are cheap anyway. Better to get rid of the gas and save the seal than to leave the gas in there and could have a problem with the seal. The other thing you're going to run into is, because there's a few differences, even though they're minor, between SIG, Umarex, and Swiss Arms bottles and a few other makes out there, there's just minor differences. It's enough that if, let's say you've rifled through your supply of CO2 gas, you were using SIGs in this thing, or a Umarex, whichever. You go and you try and go get more gas, they're out of stock, you got to get a different brand. If you've made an impression on that seal because you left long-term storage of the gas in there, even for as much as a week can do it, okay, and probably even less than a week will do it. It may leak on you because the seal hasn't been able to rebound. So you may get a leak, and it's not necessary. It's not the bottle that's the problem. It's your seal hasn't had a chance to rebound. Now sometimes you can put a little bit of oil on there, and that'll help, you know, soften things back up again and seal it. If necessary, absolute necessary, you could actually put a piece of Teflon thread tape over the top of it and then seal that way. That can be done. There's different tricks you can do, but if you just take it out all the time, you shouldn't have any problem for years. Okay. Anyways, getting back to the gun though. So the mag release, pretty simple. It's universal either side, and you have to make sure this is facing the right way. Comes out pretty easy. So it's a dropout mag. It can actually drop out right on its own, which is nice. It's got enough weight there to do that. So that's awesome. I would recommend extra mags only because getting 135 shots, that's basically about, I think I worked it out to be about 6.5 or 7, almost 7 mags worth anyways. So I think it's more like about 6.5. I'd probably stop after 6 mags and dump whatever gas is there because it won't be a lot anyhow. Anyhow, what else can I tell you about the gun? If you do want to remove this thing, it's you're going to need a different Allen key than the Allen keys that come with it. But you will get 2 Allen keys. You'll get one that will be for installing and removing the green dot, and you'll have another key for adjusting your elevation and windage for the green dot. But you'll need a different Allen key to actually get into here and remove the whole piece off of there. Not a big deal though. Pretty much every one of us has Allen keys kicking around. So yeah, performance of the gun is really good. The more you practice with it, the better you're going to get, obviously. If you check out my accuracy shooting video, I was getting better and better. But I did find that between 15 and 20 feet, I was actually doing the best with this gun. And I think that's where this thing pretty much would max out. Shooting tin cans 30 feet away. I did a video for that, shooting tin cans from about 30 to 33 feet away. No big deal, rips right through them. And because you have a much larger target with a tin can and you do a little tiny circle on a target that you're trying to go after, you're not as worried. And so you're going to miss the odd shot here and there, obviously, because you're excited and having fun and not paying attention to what you're doing other than shooting at the cans. But it is fun, and it does have plenty of power. It can actually rip through both sides of pop cans without even thinking about it. So that's pretty good, and that's even after, you know, a few mags. It'll still go through both sides of tin cans, so it does have power for that. But I would say this is a great fun plinker. I wouldn't say it's a very good targeting gun as far as, you know, paper targets to get really super precision with it. Although I have seen some guys at 20 feet away, 25 feet away that are really good with pistols, and they can really make this thing shine. Unfortunately, I can't make it shine as well as they can at this point of the game, but the more I use it, the better I'm going to get. The trigger pull is not really stiff. I don't find it is anyways. So, I mean, kids could shoot this, teenagers, adults, you know. Pretty much anybody in the family should be able to shoot this without any difficulty. But do keep in mind that slide does blow back and it does jerk the gun, you know. It's got some good kick to it, so you need to be aware of that. It's not like it's going to go crazy on you, but, you know, it's going to freak you out the first few times you shoot the gun. And then you'll learn how to hold the gun to try and keep it under better control, you know, which is a big thing with blowbacks. There is a way to hold them to keep them under better control. Any shooting I've done with this, I've done freehand. I've not rested with shooting on any kind of sandbag or anything like that. I've just freehand shot, either sitting down or standing up with it. And I actually prefer shooting pistols that way, just because it's a lot easier to learn to shoot them that way, I guess, at least for me. But the workmanship in this and the build quality on it is just great. I mean, it is a Umarex product. They've always done great jobs with their guns. The lower half of your frame is basically a polymer frame, and then of course you've got metal for, you know, your slide is metal, your trigger is metal. You know, there are a lot of metal parts in the gun, which is great. You can remove this little fake silencer, moderator, or whatever you want to call it. There's one screw in the front, one screw here, and you can pop it off, but then you see the barrel and it kind of makes it look ugly. So I would recommend leaving this thing on. The regular CP99 compact, the barrel is cut off right flush, so it doesn't have the extension piece on it. Okay, but this is their tactical Recon version of the gun. So, I would definitely rank this gun an easy 4 out of 5 for the main gun itself. Like I said, I don't care for the green dot on it. I find it's not a very good quality dot as far as the roundness of that light beam. I've seen $30 red dots that looked nicer. The green, for some reason, it's a little blurred out, and I've tried even different pairs of glasses, no glasses. Makes no difference. It's definitely the dot. I'm not sure if there's a way to tune the pitch of the beam of the dot up against the front screen here, but if there is, I'll see if I can figure it out, and then if I do, then I'll let you know. Otherwise, you'll never know. With the extra Picatinny mounts here, you're going to end up with 3 all total, because there's a main Picatinny mount on the bottom, so you can take this off, put a laser underneath, or a flashlight, whatever, or you can still put a laser here, a flashlight here, something else here. I have no idea what you'd put on there, but you do have other things you can mount on the gun and make it look a lot more meaner, you know, type of thing, right? But that's entirely up to you. Anyways, nothing's perfect either, which is another thing. So overall, I'm really happy with the gun. I think that for 80 bucks, it's probably the best 80 bucks I've ever spent on a BB gun as to yet. You know, the green dot can work. Once you get it dialed in, it can work. I just don't like it. And I don't like the way the beam shines. Not for me. That's just my own personal pet peeve, so take it that way. It's really nothing massively against the dot. But it's nice that it's green instead of red, because red is hard to see in the daylight, especially when it's duller. And this has 2 light settings. It has a low setting, which is actually a lot more cleaner dot, and then you have your main full brightness setting. So you do have 2 stages of brightness, and then you're off. Uses a standard 2032 battery, coin battery. You can get those at the dollar store, 3 for $1. And the battery will last you for years, probably as long as you don't leave it turned on all the time. But you do get exceptionally long run time on these things, even with just the 1 battery. So you won't have to be replacing batteries anytime soon in the green dot. And at least you can also see the front sights. Well, it's mounted on the gun too, so you could leave it on and just do it that way. I prefer the look of it and the feel of it without this unit on, and I prefer the open sights, even though they are fixed. So, but you can get really accurate with this gun, especially with this, once you have dialed it in. Anyway, that's what I've got for you guys on this gun. I think it's, like I said, it's a pretty cool gun. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to get my wife to shoot this thing and see what she thinks about it too. And maybe I'll get her to do her own review on this gun for her own channel. And she can tell you what she thinks of this pistol. Because I don't even think, you don't even have a blowback pistol, do you?
Nope.
No, so she doesn't have one, so that'll be a new experience for her. She used to have a PPK and she really liked it. So if she liked it and it doesn't have half the kick this does, she's probably going to really love this one. Maybe we'll have to have a competition and see who can shoot better than the other, because she shoots with both eyes open. I still close an eye. Anyways, guys, that's it. That's all. I am out of here. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not subscribed, please do so. And smash that bell for notifications. Got a lot more gun stuff coming up this summer for you. And other videos. So stay tuned for sure. I'll do more videos with this gun too as well. I have some other targets in mind that I want to try and annihilate with it and see how good I can do. So stay tuned for those videos as well. Catch you later.